Greetings and thanks for joining GrowerTalks and Green Profit for another Trending Now video where we talk about cool new products for professional growers and retail garden centers. I'm Bill Calkins, Senior Editor of GrowerTalks magazine, and today I'm joined by Felix Chassouant, a VP of Sales with Harnois Industries, who's focused on poly greenhouses. Felix has a Master of Science degree in Agricultural Sciences from both France and Canada, and with more than a decade dedicated to the global greenhouse sector, his comprehensive industry knowledge, coupled with scientific expertise, means he's a fantastic resource working with greenhouse owners and managers to develop strategic guidance and optimal solutions. We're here today to talk about Harnois' TunnelPro Plus high tunnel greenhouses and find out what's new in the line for 2025 and going into 2026. Felix, welcome. How are things going in 2025? And are there any greenhouse trends you've seen emerge in the past year or so?
So thank you for the introduction, Bill. 2025 has been like a very good year for us. Regarding the trend, what we have seen, it's, like we were talking about the climate, and the climate, I will say we see like much more extreme events. Drought this year. The last 2 years, it was more, like a lot of rain, flood, especially, for the open field growers were affected. So, like this year, and it started last year, also in 2024, we have seen more requests, more demand for low-tech, high tunnel system. So as you can see here on my slide, we are covering with Harnois, all type of greenhouses, all type of poly greenhouses, and also like a glass house. But what we have seen this year, it's like two separated trends. Growers asking for very economical, low-tech option like the TunnelPro Plus, and growers also investing in very high-tech. So it has been two very different type of needs for us, but type of products. But today I will focus more on the TunnelPro Plus. But our challenge was to design structures, inexpensive structures, designed to be resilient to the climate. So it has to be easy to build, very economical, and then it has to provide a security for the crop and for the grower.
Okay, well that makes sense, and I think when growers look to expand, they definitely in most climates are looking for something with structural integrity, but also that allows the crops to grow as they should and in an efficient way. That's interesting though that you're seeing both sides, the extremely sort of high-end greenhouses and then the more low tech, but still with structural integrity.
Yeah, no, you're right. And when you say structural integrity, at Harnois, we have like engineers, experts, and it has been designed by engineers. It's not an engineered structure. We do not need any stamp because it's a 3-season tunnel. So it means you start to grow, but especially here, like in the northeast of the States, Canada, Midwest, where you have like snow, you start to grow, I would say beginning of April. So you start earlier, and then you can extend your production up to, end of October, beginning of November, because but during the winter, we have to remove the poly. So this is what we call like a 3-season solution. But the point is, compared to the field, compared to a shade house, you have like a rain protection. And as you can see here on these pictures, we wanted to have like a big volume. It means a good width, a good height. So it's up to 18 feet, like the height from the ground to the ridge. And this is, like the main benefit of this tunnel, because we were already doing, tunnel is not new, but we wanted like to keep like the benefit of a gutter connected greenhouse, like the big volume, the Gothic shape, but put it on a very inexpensive structure where you just need like a screw pile foundation anchor, like you see on the left, no concrete. So you just need like a hydraulic system to just implement like the foundation to the ground. So it's pretty quick. And then, you can, in a short period of time, cover a large surface. No drilling, everything is bolt. And when I said it's not an engineer structure, but it has been, we made like the calculation and we wanted to have like something strong enough for the wind, because the wind we see like we can have like big, quick storm, a lot of rain, and it's more extreme right now. So we need also structures able to resist when like the conditions are getting like more extreme. So all of this, like the peace of mind for the growers, like the volume, the buffer, you will see it like in the next slide. Here, we wanted like just to gather all of the, like the characteristic of like I will say like a gutter connected, but in a very inexpensive tunnel. And when I talk about buffer effect, I am an agronomist, and what I learned at school, it's like the humidity and the hot air, it's less dense, it's lighter, so it goes up. So the point is, by having like, a Gothic shape, more volume, it helps to reduce like the stress, negative stress on the plant, and to create more climate uniformity. So here at crop level, it's cooler, especially, when it's like this year, like drought, it's warm. So it's cooler at crop level, and you have less risk to develop, like fungus, botrytis, oidium, like all those fungus they love when the climate is changing very quickly in the greenhouse. So we made a very large volume, high tunnel to be able to provide like climate uniformity. And then we have different system to ventilate, but you have like the ability also, of course, to open the poly both side to recycle like the air, to have like a more air recycling. So this is like like a gutter connected, but it's inexpensive. And when I say inexpensive, we were like more talking about targeting like $1.5 per square feet, so like US. So the point is, like it has to provide like a quick return on investment, and to be to be easy to build, because like also like what we see, like the challenge is all costs are increasing, fertilizer, of course the labor to build it. So we wanted like to have like the best compromise. And compared to a smaller style tunnel, like, as you can see on the right here, like the umbrella tunnel, the TunnelPro Plus, and we call it Plus because it's more, like more volume, but you see like the benefit, because when it's a smaller structures, it gets hotter very quickly and also cooler quickly, and you have like less, but much more, like stress on the crop, especially, like when it's open on the sides. And then here, but we were talking about like the trends. I wanted to show you like a very concrete project we made. But we built, we start last year, and we had like new one this year, of course. But this particular one is more, like for berries, for raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries. So very, very sensitive crops. And one phase was about like 50 acres. So it's just an example, it can go like very on big surface. And as you can see here, those growers, but especially these growers in these pictures, they were like growing everything on the field. And they have done like the math, they have done the homework regarding, like, okay, if we want to supply big supermarket to have like consistent quality and yield, less issue, on predictability, like the tunnel is the best investment. So this is, like a clear trend we see. We also supply, like retail, flowers, growers, because, it can be a combination. It can replace a shade house, because the rain, like it's with single poly. So we have like a rain protection. And then, like you can also have like a buffer area, low tech, covered with the TunnelPro Plus for all type of cultivation. And the good part, it's, as you can see here, it's wide, but it's also very high, and we can add doors. And the doors, it can be like the opening can be up to 13 feet. So you can come in with tractors, forklift. It's very convenient to be able to like to put like some machinery, some automation. So this is what we wanted to also like to integrate. It's the ability to scale up and also like to bring more machineries without changing the design of the tunnel. So like just to finish, like the key benefit, we talk about it, like predictability, of course, density and yield. So you protect, you can bring your crop to from the ground to a soilless substrate, control more your irrigation, your fertilizer, climate resilience. You have a protection against the frost, the cool temperature beginning of the spring, and during the summer, of course, like the drought. But you have like the irrigation, precise irrigation, and you have like the big volume protected from like the heat waves. And then it depends on the crop, of course. But what we have seen here, especially for the berries, it's quicker to harvest because you bring your ground, your open field system to like the height of also the workers. It's it's pretty dry like the ground, so it's easier also like to navigate for the machinery. Less soil preparation, and then the big things is compare like to same to the open field cultivation. You will reduce the use of chemicals and fertilizer application because it's a rain protection. So this can work also like for tropical plants, like for many kind of like cultivation where everything not in a proper like gutter connected or freestanding greenhouses. If it's outside, this area can be covered easily with the TunnelPro Plus. So it's a mix of agronomic performance, operating efficiencies, less input, so less money also spent by the growers because this is critical right now. Like everything is increasing. So if you reduce fertilizer, chemicals, you will have like a positive impact on your return on investment. And at the end, like the main things, it's also like profitability. Of course, we do like a greenhouse. It's a tool, and it's a tool for the growers to be able to grow and to make money. And this tunnel, it's connected. So, like the scalability, it's a good point. Like you can have one block next year, like you can duplicate or like multiplicate, like it's very easy. And the one I show you, it's a base structure where we can put like options, like a rain gutters, but to collect, like the rain directly to use this water. And then we also have like option to have like a roll up on the roof. It can be manual, motorized. We also design system to be able to trellis the crop, like for tomato, cannabis, like some flowers also can be directly, like trellis to the structures. And we have also like the ability to hang basket or growing gutters to the tunnel. So like the structure is inexpensive, but it's able to support to handle some crop loads. So yeah, it's a mix of everything in the TunnelPro Plus, but the main objective was to provide a new model, very easy to build, also to manufacture and to ship from our side. So like the turnaround, it's pretty quick as soon as we have the order. And yes, like the
That's excellent.
of the
There are
price
so
was
many
like
benefits that you just went through for growers. I can even see that application at retail. Covered shopping is very important. Certainly opens your store up for more shopping throughout the year if weather's bad. And then what you said about the accessibility for greenhouse labor to get in there, even in there with machinery, I would imagine it's a much nicer working environment too versus harvesting and planting and taking care of crops in the field.
Yeah, clearly, it's like like the farm I just showed you before. Like most of the
Yes.
workers, they want to work like in the tunnel. It's a game changing, like especially for the harvest. And on the agronomic part, like the last thing, the last point I did not talk about, it's covered with a single layer poly. So like the good advantage of the single layer poly, it's just one layer. But when we talk about poly technology, the good point is we can also work on a certain percentage of diffusion. We have an anti-dripping technology, a thermal technology to be even more efficient to retain the heat during the spring. And we can have like UV open, UV block poly. So, it's also, we can adjust and select the best type of poly according to the crop. So this is an additional advantage, especially when we compare against, with shade house. So shade house, it's also like a low tech system to protect. However, you have like less, possibility to, first you do not control like the rain, and you have less possibility to have to control like the light diffusion, the drippings, and
well, it does sound like a huge improvement over
possible.
over just a traditional shade house for that environment, the crop environment. Like you said, you're reducing the risk of disease. You're reducing a lot of those input costs that really drag on the bottom line. That's excellent. This sounds like a really great system. Well, Felix, I really appreciate your time and your expertise. You were very concise, but shared a ton of benefits of this new TunnelPro Plus. And it does sound like it brings unique benefits to high tunnel systems, but also for the crops grown within. So thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome, Bill. So stay available, and do not hesitate to contact Harnois if
Excellent,
you want.
And I'll put links to Harnois and your products in the video description. And well, that wraps up another Trending Now video from Grower Talks and Green Profit. So on behalf of Ball Publishing and the entire team at Harnois Industries, thanks for watching. And now's the time to jump back in the Trending Now playlist and check out some of our other videos covering a wide range of products for the greenhouse and garden center industry. Have a great season.